All right. Hey, folks. So you're joining me for a lower body session. So I'm going to just spend a few minutes talking you through what I'm doing currently. So most this year, I've been doing an upper lower split. Volume is right around 14 or so sets per body part per week. And I've not done a lower body day before, so I thought I'd start with that. So here we've got, I think this is the first working set on the leg press, trying to get as deep as I can. That's something which I've always found challenging over the years. So I try and make sure I go nice and deep just to get maximum sort of quad flexion and get the best results for the least weight. Yeah, so as I say, I try and take it down as deep as I can. I mean, I've definitely seen people get deeper, but then I think this is probably enough in terms of the angle. I'd like to get a better sort of, maybe a better like ankle flexion, but I think my knee flexion is pretty good. So yeah, this is about 4 sets of 5 on this, and this is on the first of my lower body days. I do slightly heavier work on this day, and then I use slightly lighter work on the next lower body day, which gives me a bit of sort of undulation during the week, basically. So yeah, first exercise here, and the final working set here on the leg press. But yeah, I mean, try them if you're not going quite as deep as this, or if try them. They really work the legs quite a lot. I find that every inch or two on the leg press is probably worth about 50 kilos or 30 kilos at least. It's a big difference between poundage you can use when you're going as deep as you really can versus when you're kind of stopping at like parallel or above that. Makes a big difference in how your quads feel, and your legs will be pretty hammered the day after. So here we go with stiff leg deadlift. So this is 4 sets of 5. I've already done the warm-ups leading up to this. So I did a plate, 2 plates, and now 3 plates. So I'll do a full 4 sets at this weight. This is pretty easy weight still, but feels good. Nothing feels particularly injurious. Everything feels quite nice. So I'm hoping to carry on building that up. But yeah, this feels pretty strong, pretty confident. We had a discussion about the use of straps a while back, about a week or so ago, and I'm very much for the use of straps. I don't think you should be limited by your grip when it comes to big, basic compound exercises. There's almost a sort of a naturalistic fallacy when it comes to the use of straps. People say, don't use straps, have all natural strength. But then I'd rather not limit my entire body's development just because of where my forearms and grip is at. Plus, the grip starts to slip, or if you have to use an over-under, that's not particularly great for the back. So I just think double over, straps, for me, is the best kind of compromise. That was the final set. Now, the next thing is a split squats. This is a relatively new addition for me, and I like to try and go as deep as possible here. It's quite a nice sort of way to build strength in more extreme ranges of motion. You'll find it quickly builds up. So I'm trying to get as deep as possible. And this is a really good way to stretch out the hips, the knees, the ankles. But more importantly than stretching them out is actually building strength in that range. I think that's really something which has been missed. And it's something that I discussed with a client this morning, was just he has a difficulty in getting deep on the squat. So one of my things was introducing split squats just so we can actually build some range and build some strength in that extreme range of motion. Another thing here is good mornings. One thing I think is quite important to note with good mornings is if you look at my knees, they go backwards. That is how you correctly perform a good morning. You don't want your knees to stay vertical. You want them to actually pull back, and that means you're stretching way back with your hips. That's the correct way of doing them. I think people, more often than not, if they're going heavy on the good mornings, they'll keep their knees either straight up or even forward. And basically, you're turning the good morning into a squat. This is what you want. You want your knees to be pulling back. Now, in terms of the actual depth, that's more dependent on your leverages and your body. I don't think depth is something which is universal for everyone, so I wouldn't worry if your depth isn't amazing. Now we've got some standing calf raises. Unfortunately, at this gym that I go to, it doesn't actually have a dedicated calf machine, so I've got to do this on a Smith machine, but it's fine. The only real nuance I do with calf raises is I like to do a quick pause at the bottom, take out some of the stretch reflex. Just helps to get more out of the set. And again, on the Smith machine, I like to do some seated calves. Look at my clothes there. I'm looking like an absolute advert for fast lifts. So yeah, this works pretty well. I mean, it's kind of okay. It starts to get a little bit achy on the knees, but it'll do until I find a better gym. So far we've done a couple of exercises for the quads, a couple of exercises for the hamstrings, glutes, done 2 exercises for the calves, and also this was 2 exercises for the abs. I did a weighted knee raise. It's an idea I got from, I don't even remember who I got it from now, but you just use a dip belt and you add the plate on top of your knees. Great idea though. Progressively load ab exercises. So I did hanging knee raises, and what's not shown is after this I did cable crunch for sets of 15. But yeah, solid exercise. I like this. It's pretty good. So I think that was about it for today. Yeah, the last thing I did was just a bit of posing for the legs. So legs are still holding some pretty decent size, even after dropping down to 80 kilos. Quite happy with this. Still, this is the sort of level of leanness after the cut back down to about 80 kilos. So feeling pretty good about this. Legs looking decent. Nice bit of size, good bit of vascularity. So I'm happy. Well, you guys said that you wanted to see more training footage. So there it is. I'll see you guys next time.